Welcome to the Path of Faith, Glowing Star. Today, we will explore the lives of the women in the Bible, figures who, with their unwavering courage and faith, left a legacy that spans the centuries. These stories not only inspire but also teach us valuable lessons about faith, perseverance, and the importance of trusting God in all circumstances. We begin with Eve, the first woman, who offers us a profound lesson on human nature and the responsibility of free will. Eve's story in Genesis shows how her choices impacted all of humanity, but it also gives us hope as we see how God continued to guide and protect humanity after the fall. Next, we have Sarah, the wife of Abraham, whose faith is highlighted in Hebrews as an example of belief in God's promises, even when all circumstances were against her. Sarah waited decades for a child, and even in her old age, she believed in God's promise, becoming the mother of Isaac, the heir of the promise. Sarah's story teaches us about patience, faith, and the importance of trusting God, even when it seems impossible. Another notable figure is Ruth, whose book in the Bible bears her name. Ruth was a Moabite who, after the death of her husband, decided to follow her mother-in-law Naomi back to Israel. Ruth's loyalty, devotion, and courage in a foreign land show us the importance of fidelity and unconditional love. She eventually married Boaz, and together, they became the great-grandparents of King David, showing how God uses unexpected people to fulfill his purpose. Moving forward in biblical history, we find Esther, a young Jewish woman who became the queen of Persia. Esther risked her life to save her people from extermination, displaying extraordinary courage. Her story is one of the most inspiring in the Bible, illustrating how God can use someone in a position of influence to carry out his plans. The famous phrase, "Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this," reminds us that, often, God places us in certain positions to fulfill a greater purpose. Deborah is another woman who deserves mention. She was a judge and prophetess in Israel, leading the people into battle against the Canaanites. Deborah not only advised and judged the people, but also led the troops of Israel to victory. Her story, narrated in the book of Judges, is a powerful example of leadership and obedience to God. Beyond these women, there are many others whose lives brought great lessons. Mary, the mother of Jesus, for example, is a model of submission to God's will. When the angel Gabriel announced that she would give birth to the Son of God, Mary responded, "I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled." Her humility and willingness to fulfill God's plan are examples for all of us. We can also learn from the story of Mary Magdalene, who was delivered from 7 demons by Jesus and became one of his most devoted followers. She was present at the crucifixion and was the first to see the resurrected Jesus, becoming a key witness of the resurrection. Mary Magdalene's story teaches us about transformation and the power of God's forgiveness. In conclusion, we can see that the role of women in the Bible is vast and varied. From leaders and prophetesses to devoted mothers and wives, these women show us that God values faith, courage, and obedience, regardless of gender. Their stories continue to inspire and teach us that when we trust in God and follow his ways, we can impact the world in ways we may never have imagined. If you're inspired by these stories and want to learn more, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. And, of course, let us know in the comments which of these stories touched your heart the most. May God bless you, and see you next time.